the best camera I've ever had. So this is an Insta360 X3, an action camera I've used for a couple of months now, and it never disappointed me. I really love this camera. Been using this camera for a couple of months. I even recorded my entire wedding using this camera. So everyone was looking at me like a weirdo. So I had this camera on this stick and had a tripod, very little tripod, and I used to move it to one place to another place, and it was quite fun. And I still made it. It shot entire wedding, so my entire wedding for, let's say, I think more than 12 hours. I have it on my SD cards and I have it on my laptop. I'm still working on them, but I was surprised that this little one can shoot so much. Well, I've got a spare battery, so one battery can last for a couple of hours. The thing is, what I love is when you're pressing to record, the screen is switching off, so it continues to record. It does video. Each video will record like 29 minutes, and then after that we're gonna start a new one. So I think it will be easy for you as well when you edit the videos. The one thing I don't like about this camera is that every time you have, when you go to edit the videos, so let's say you shoot in 360 4K, and then when you edit in the application and you try to export, it does export only in full HD, 1080p, which is a bit disappointed. So you'll have to kind of adjust, to make 4K video and write it manually. So if it's 1080p, you have to write the size for 4K video. So that's a bit of what disappointed me about this camera. And also what I've noticed, if you leave it for, let's say you're doing time lapse and you leave for quite a while, it sometimes get really hot, and you need to be careful with that. Also, what I like about this camera is the selfie stick, which is what they say, it's it's quite long and it's solid as well. So I had this camera on this stick all the time, and I really love when it's like when you edit the video and you can't see the stick, so it's looking like a bit weird. When I've been in Paris a bit and I had it with me on my back. That's usually what I do, and my mom was asking me, do you have my drone with me? I said, yeah, I had my drone doing active track in the church, and she was laughing at me. But yeah, I really love the invisible stick, which I think is a great addition if you're having this camera. What I like about this camera is that it has lots of options. So when you switch it on, and well, depending where you're trying to record, I usually go for 360, try to record everything around, and then I will gonna choose my frames and what I want to have in my video. And you can choose 4K, which is what I usually shoot in 4K. I never shoot in 5K because it's getting really hot and the battery will go very, very quick, which I don't want that. And most of the times, as I said, I'm shooting in 360, but you can choose to shoot in normal lens, which is, I think, it's more like what a GoPro will do. It's like a normal standard camera, which this one is not. It's not one. And if you want to look for an action camera, I think this one is a great decision to buy one of them. The charging time, it's quite quick. So if you have one of them, charging hub, you can charge 2 batteries at the same time, but usually they don't charge at the same time. So it charges one, and then after that we're gonna charge another one, which I think I have a battery hub for DJI Mini 3 Pro, for Air 2S, and they all do the same. They don't charge them all 3 together. They charge one at a time, which is a bit disappointing, but it's nothing you can do about that. So what I used to do when I was shooting my wedding, I had one battery on my Insta360 and one was charging. So when this one was dying, I would just swap them over, which did work pretty well for me. One thing to consider is when you're buying such a camera is you need to make sure you have like big SD card. At the moment I have here 256 gig SD card here, but I was thinking maybe to get the bigger one, because as I said, when I was shooting my wedding, at some point my SD card was full and I couldn't do anything, and I kind of missed a couple of hours from my wedding. However, that wasn't really important. But as always, it's good to have like much better or bigger SD card in your action camera or any device which shoot 4K or 5K. You may ask yourself, for who this camera is? I would say this camera for chose people who does snowboarding, cycling, even driving. I had this camera attached to my car when I was driving. It was pretty interesting for me to record how I was driving, which was pretty cool. And yeah, if you're looking for an action camera, I know you can go for GoPro, which is a bit more superior. I think this one is, it's how to say, it kind of have 360 features which GoPro doesn't. So you can't miss anything. Like if you're gonna use a GoPro, you probably miss like one moment. But with this one, you won't be able to miss anything, because this one shoots 360. So this one is a really good thing about this camera. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching my video. And if you enjoyed, I know English is not my first language, so I'm kind of a bit still learning. And as I start with this YouTube channel, I'm still, how to say, still kind of need to get more confident in front of the camera. As I'm an introvert person and I'm still struggling. And it's kind of this too. English not being first languages and being introvert, it's an obstacle, but it's not impossible. So once again, guys, thanks for watching my video. If you really enjoyed or you want to support me, just hit that subscribe button and thumbs up to my video. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them below and I'll reply to you back. Thanks again, guys, and yeah, see you next video then. Thank you.